You make your way into the tavern. The goblins drink nectar mead as they bicker with the elves. You choose to sit with the bard and the troll. This is what they have to say.
Greetings, adventurers. Welcome to the Troll Bard Tavern. Grab a drink and pull up a seat, because you're here with Jake and my other friend here.
It's a troll bird.
The Troll Bird. That's right. And we're here to just chill and talk about some news and some goings-on in the gaming world.
And some games. Some games.
Yeah?
And definitely some games.
Yes, definitely some games. Alright. Want me to start off?
Sure.
Yeah. Alright, so big news. I know everyone's been waiting with just like bated breath, but I beat Spyro 2.
Dun, dun.
I know, it's a big accomplishment.
Heck yeah.
I didn't 100% it yet, but like I just beat it. So now it's on to Spyro 3, but I also beat Far Cry New Dawn.
Ooh.
Which is
What are we playing that on?
PC.
Nice.
Have you played any of the Far Cry games?
No.
No.
Not one.
They're really cool. It's like a run and gun, kind of like parkouring sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
But this one's a sequel, I guess, to Far Cry 5, and it's like post-apocalyptic. And so you've got like a saw blade launcher, and like all of your weapons are kind of like handmade with like different parts and duct tape together and stuff like that. But it's cool. It's cool. It's like again, it's the same area as like Fallout 5, or not Fallout 5. Jeez, Far Cry 5, and they just kind of like apocalypsed it. Which is kind of the same thing they were doing with the new Zelda, where it's still like the Breath of the Wild map, but they just
destroyed.
Like, yeah, it's all messed up.
Didn't World of Warcraft do that?
Yeah. The what is it, Cataclysm?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they like just, that makes sense if it was Cataclysm. They just like broke up the world. But yeah, I mean those are the two I've probably been playing the most. Just because I kind of wanted to like check them off the list, and get that going. But I also downloaded Pokemon Revolution Online.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
dude.
little
Let's
online Pokemon.
Yeah.
I got my old account too.
The one you made on the Retroid?
No, that I had to make a new one for the Retroid.
Is that a different version than we played, or is it the same one?
It seems the same. I don't know, because
Might be different.
Yeah, I only played on the Retroid for a little bit.
Yeah. For like one day we did that.
Yeah. And I played a little bit after that, but like I really didn't get into it. I think like a big part of that is like you got to have people, like the community kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have like a crew. Like you can start guilds.
Let's do it.
You can start a guild, just like a Pokemon guild.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm down.
But it's all the same stuff. Right now it's got 3 regions, so that means there's 24 gym badges. So, super cool thing. You can trade Pokemon with everybody, right? Online. Okay. You can duel people online, wherever you are. Just like,
let's do it.
Hey, dude, on Route 2, about to throw down.
What are you going to play on your PC?
Yeah. Just because, like, I thought that recording would be easier. And, like, especially for, like, background visuals for, like, podcasts. I didn't want anything, like, too intense. So I thought Pokemon might be good, and like it's low graphics, so like I don't need to, stress too much about recording it. But it's on. You can get it for PC, for Mac, and on your phone, and obviously the Retroid. If you've got a Retroid, but you can get it on your phone, and you can mobile play Pokemon online with people.
I have a mobile handheld on the way to me right now.
What?
PS Vita. My first one. It's gonna be.
That's nice, man.
Yeah. So that's gonna be. I'll be playing that on there for sure.
Yeah. I think it's super cool because it's fan made. 100% it's fan made. but it uses all the Pokemon, all the same stats, all the same like names and trainers and blah blah blah. I think where they're at right now is they can like accept donations, but they can't actually like sell anything because then they'll get like sued.
Yeah.
But they've got this cool thing where, like, say we're playing and like I'm an old vet and I trade you like, oh hey, you can just borrow like my level 50 Pokemon for a while. And just like
that'd
stomp
be awesome.
and stomp through the badges, right?
Yeah.
You would think, nah, dog.
Can't do that.
No,
Well, that's good.
they scale. No, you can still trade, but they scale the gym leaders to the Pokemon in your party. So if you come in with a level 50 Pokemon, the gym leaders now have level 50 Pokemon.
And is there a minimum on them? Well, yeah, obviously, right? They're like
Yeah.
30, like level 30 or whatever.
Well, it's. I'm pretty sure when I played, it was like the gym leader and the Pokemon were like question mark, or whatever. But what the game did was it scaled. So if you had all level like 8 Pokemon, so did the gym leaders. But if you like traded and someone's like, yeah, dude, just take my Zapdos, it's level 100. Like, then you've got one level 100 versus their whole team of level 100s. And you've got like some level 8s or whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they kind of like balanced it like that. And that way you can't just like go and grind and fucking farm and stuff like that and like raise your Pokemon to like level 20 and then go stomp the gym. Because then the gym's level 20 now. So it actually like forces you to like be good at the game. Like understand like this type is strong against this type and like I got some synergy with these two Pokemon and these kind of moves like combo together, blah blah blah. So it kind of forces you to be good at the game. Versus,
So what level are you?
Oh, dude, I started in Kanto, which is like the first like Pokemon Red, White, and Blue.
Okay.
Or not Red, White, and Blue. That's American Pokemon. Red, Yellow, and Blue. That's where I started, and I'm on the Gold server. I don't know if that makes a big difference. But yeah. So, and I was looking because it's been years since I played on this account. And I was looking at my Pokemon. I was like, these guys are trash. Like, every single one. Like, I'm going to have to start from scratch, but with 2 badges. Like, getting new Pokemon and training them up. I've got to relearn, like, the EVs and the IVs. So, like, because this is all, like, it was new to me back then, and I have to relearn it now.
I'm such a noob at Pokemon, dude.
Oh, dude. It's a completely different game than it was. I forget which generation they started adding the EVs and the IVs, but it's like one is for your Pokemon naturally has it, right? And that sets how fast their stats grow. So you want high scores in those. The other one, whenever you beat certain Pokemon, they give you points. So if you beat like a Rattata, it'll give you like an attack point, right? And you can only get so many attack points, and those will like change how your stats grow. So if you get a dude with high attack EV and you train him, or EV or IV, I can't remember which one. But if you want a dude who has super high attack, you need to get him he naturally has high attack, and you need to make him kill attack type Pokemon.
So you're like trying to max them out.
Yeah, it's like a min-max strategy. But like that's how you get like competition level Pokemon. And you're just basically, yeah, but you can't check until you catch the Pokemon, what their stats are. So, like, you're just catching, like, oh, I want, like, a Pidgey. So you catch, like, 30 Pidgeys, and then you're, like, comparing them all. Just be like, this is the best one.
Oh,
this
really?
Yeah. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a real grind to get, like, a good team. And then you've got to be, like, very careful. Because, like, the killing the Pokemon, there's, like, a cap to it.
Dude, I'm excited.
Dude, and it's free. It's 100% free.
I'm going to have to put it on the Vita.
Yeah.
Because I plan on modding it anyway and doing some stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to play that.
Dude, 100% free. You can play online with all your friends, no matter what you're using. To get it on your phone, right?
That's what I kept thinking about. I was like, man, I really want to play Pokemon. I was talking to this kid at work about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do I want to play? And then the MMO kept popping in my head. I'm like, Want to play with everybody.
Yeah, because what I was weighing was like I'd like to get footage for the podcast, like the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to do that on the Switch, I have to buy Scarlet or Violet, which is $60, and then I have to buy a capture card, right? Which is probably another $80. And it's like I could spend $140, and I could record myself playing a solo Pokemon game, or
you could just play online.
For free.
For free.
And I have OBS, which is also free. The free version of that, so I can also record for free. And it was just like, yeah, I'm doing that. Plus, like, I get to play with people, and it doesn't have like a super huge community.
But when I play, dude, there's always people running around.
There's always people on. Yeah. I mean, it's like thousands of people. I shouldn't say like it's a small community.
All in one server.
No, I think there's a gold server and a silver server. I think that's how it works. They only have 2 servers, and they're working on the 4th region, which will add like another 8 gyms and all the areas associated with that. But you can catch pretty much any generation of Pokemon wherever you are. So it's not just like, oh, you're in the 1st generation area, you can only catch 1st generation Pokemon. They're kind of like spread out. So you can find like 2nd, 3rd generation Pokemon in there.
So they made it pretty good.
Yeah. It's really good. It's the old like Game Boy graphics. So it's not 3D. It's the old like pixel, but like, man, it's nostalgic and it's cool.
Yeah, the online aspect is just that's what I'm down for, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Pokemon games are great, but they get kind of boring if you don't have like people to play with. And
you're a Pokemon vet. You know, you are a vet.
I gotta knock off the rust, man. I was for a while. I was pretty deep into it, and I was just getting into like working towards competitive play, and then I just stopped. Other things happened. Other things came up.
New consoles.
New games. Everybody was playing like Call of Duty and Halo and stuff like that. Nobody was really playing Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
I just fell out of those circles, and it was
Call of Duty, dude.
Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2. Ooh. What a nice sound. Cheers.
What's your game of the week, man?
Honestly, the one I've played the most is probably Far Cry New Dawn, because I just wanted to finish that out and just beat the campaign on that. I didn't 100% it. I don't know if I will. But it's just like, I've been hanging around that game for a long time. Just like, oh, I'm like 12. Like, you know, a few missions away from finishing it. Like, I'll do it later. And finally, I was just like, I'll do it. And just knocked it out in like a couple days. Wasn't a big deal.
Nice.
But yeah, super fun game.
You ever play any of the Uncharted's?
No, but I've heard they're great. Caleb talks about them all the time. He loves that.
I'm going to be trying one out here very soon.
Are you?
Yeah.
On the Vita?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vita version.
Nice.
I think it's called like Into the Abyss or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I've got one of the Final Fantasy games for the DS that was pretty good, and it was like kind of modeled. It was like a 3D version of like the old school turn-based, where you had like the jobs, like, oh, you can be a red mage or a white mage or black mage or like swordsman or blah blah blah. Super fun. But yeah, it was just like, it was weird because they weren't as good as the console ones, obviously, power wise or even graphics wise. But it was just like, it's like a kind of like a throwback almost.
Yeah.
It was just like, because I feel like the Vita one's going to be closer to like Uncharted 1 than it will like any other game, just because the power of the Vita. I don't even know when it came out.
2011.
2011.
Yeah. It's like surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
If you remember last week, I was talking about an emulator that just dropped for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's 12 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the PSP, and it was like...
Decent.
It was decent, but it wasn't
It's always
great.
like half of a PS2 game.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's kind of why I want to get the Vita, because they have all these exclusive games, and just pumped to try those out.
Yeah. I miss, now that we've been doing this for a while, and I've been like actually like looking up stuff, I didn't realize like how much I miss like Nintendo exclusive games, like the Zeldas and the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Even the Mario ones. Like,
I know.
I would love to play Super Mario Sunshine right now.
Dude, I grew up with Super Nintendo and so many good games on that thing. I'm so happy I grew up with that console as a young lad.
You know what? I didn't get into it till later. Probably like 13, 14, somewhere in there. Maybe 15. My stepbrother had a Dreamcast, a Sega Dreamcast. And that thing was amazing, man.
Skies of Arcadia?
Yes.
By chance?
Oh my goodness. I love that game. I need the emulator for it on my Retroid.
You do.
Because, dude, I sunk so many hours into that, like, 4-disc JRPG. Like,
dude, that makes me want to play it again. I tried to dabble in it because I heard such good things about it.
It's so good. The story's good. The graphics are good. I mean, for that time. And, like, it had so many cool things. It had a whole separate combat system for airship battling.
Yeah.
Just in the game.
Yeah. Where's that in the new games?
Yeah. It's a DLC, bro. This was just in it. Like,
yeah.
And, man, it just had all those classic elements of, like, hey, like, you don't have to explore every little nook and cranny of every area. But if you do, you're going to find these items, right? And they're going to give you a little bit of an edge when you come up to that next boss.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Or they're going to be, like, super hidden, like, there's one chick who, she has this weird, like, it's like a little blob, like a little, like, mercury, like, like the silver metal that kills people. That's what it reminds me of, because it's like a liquid, and you've got to find, like, these weird, I don't know if they're shards or whatever, it's been so long, but they're hidden in chests throughout the world, and it's the only way to power up what is essentially her only weapon. But she's also, like, a really good healer.
So you got to beat that too.
Yeah, but that's the only way to upgrade him, is to find the little, like, pieces and feed it to him. So if you don't explore everywhere, that character is trash by the end of the game.
I put, like, a full day into it, and I'm sad I didn't go back to it.
It's so good. Dude, those type of games, the big RPGs like that. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is like that. It's just huge, and you have to sink so much time into it to really, like, well, to beat it, first of all.
Yeah.
But also to just kind of, like...
I just barely got a taste of it.
Yeah.
To try it out.
Those games are such a time suck, man. And there's nothing pushing you other than, like, you like the game and you want to play it. Right? Yeah. There's no, like, leaderboards, like...
Yeah.
Unless you're going for, like, a...
You're taking me back.
Speed run.
It's taking me back to Final Fantasy VII days. First time I played it.
Yeah. I mean, all the Final Fantasy games are like that. They're just huge, big, epic stories with multiple characters, like, and all kinds of, like, tactics and strategy with your team building and your weapons and your spells, and, like, how this works with that guy, and switch out, use items, collect them. Like, there's so much content in those games that, I feel like that's why I'm constantly, like, being cynical about the new games. Because it's just like, dude, this doesn't have half the content that, like,
don't worry about it. Everyone's starting to realize that very quickly.
It's hard to get into them anymore because, like, if you bust through the storyline, like, even Skyrim is a big game, right? Yeah. But if you just go through the main storyline, you can get it done in a day.
Yeah,
it gets probably a dozen quests, and the main game is done.
Yeah.
The rest of the game is just side quests.
Yeah.
Where, like, you can't bust out Final Fantasy VII in a day.
No.
You can do some side quests in a day. You can't do the main
That's very
game
true.
in a day. And so it feels like I've talked to a couple people, and they've like fallen in love with, like, my friend Blake. He did the Dark Brotherhood quest. He loved the Dark Brotherhood. He loved the whole group, and he just, like, smashed through it. And I was like, dude, you got to take a break. Like, you're gonna finish it too quick, and you're gonna get disappointed.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he just he went through it, and he was like, I kind of lost all my motivation to play Skyrim, because, like, I beat the Dark Brotherhood quest. I was like the speaker or whatever of the Dark Brotherhood. Like, all the characters died. Sorry if that's a spoiler for a 10-year-old plus game. But they all died, and he was like, yeah, that was, like, my favorite thing about Skyrim, and I finished it in a few hours. And I was like, I'm telling you, fast travel is another thing.
Gotta get them content mods in there. Give you some new storyline.
Yeah, I think fast travel is another thing. If you fast travel, you can beat a game so much quicker than if you, like, actually walk through the environment.
Oh, yeah.
And he could have made that Dark Brotherhood quest last, like, probably a week, maybe longer than that, if you walked.
He did it one day.
Yeah, because you, like,
Bam.
it's like, hey, go kill this dude, and he just fast travels to where that dude is, kills that dude, fast travels back to the sanctuary, gets the next contract, and he just, like, teleports around. It takes, like, 5 seconds to, like, teleport to a place, shoot a dude with an arrow, and then go back and talk to the other dude. And that doesn't, like, it's not fun, you know? You're just streamlining a probably a huge, it's a huge RPG.
Sounds like kind of like how I probably played it the first time I
Uh-huh.
got the game. I just burned, like, I just went right through that main storyline.
Yeah. I made, before, like, survival mode came out and everything, I made, like, a personal rule that I wouldn't fast travel. And the game was so much more fun because I had to either, like, get a horse, or I had to run, or do that, and you run into so many more of the random encounters.
Yeah.
The dragons,
That's huge,
and the robbers, the scuba dealers.
So I was gonna say there's always something random happening, so, like, there's no problem with
yeah.
walking around.
You discover new places too, because you're actually, like, walking through the road, and
Mhm.
you're like, oh, why is there a vampire over there? And you find a cave, where if you just fast traveled, you miss all of that in between.
Dude, we gotta get on a multiplayer.
Skyrim?
Either, yeah, I mean, I
Or
guess,
just Pokemon?
Well, I
Like, what
think-
are you talking about?
yeah, I'm talking about Skyrim, but or Oblivion, if that's a thing yet. I'm not sure if that's created yet.
I don't know. I know it's a thing in Skyrim.
Yeah,
I don't know how stable the mod is, but I know it's a thing.
yeah,
So,
they've been working on that for a minute.
yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Skyrim Together?
Yeah,
Is that it?
Yep.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, I saw a video where there was, like, 4 or 5 guys all in one.
Yeah.
And they were just, like, shouting each other off of, like, cliffs and stuff like that.
I've been following it for a couple years. It's definitely getting better.
Hmm.
Nothing to really, if you really want to get a whole crew together, I mean, but I haven't checked in probably 6 months, so it might have gotten better since then. You know?
Yeah. It would be really cool to get, like, a little party going, you know, like 3
Yeah.
or 4 dudes, and maybe even kind of, like, pick classes a
Destroy
little
the
bit.
ring.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
Like,
get we'll all get the same mod. We'll all
yeah.
destroy the ring.
Yeah,
Travel
man.
to Mordor.
Like, oh, we have a ranger, and we have a fighter, and we have a healer,
Oh,
and there's
that'd
a
be
rogue. Yeah, like,
sweet.
have, like, actual class. Because
There
Skyrim,
has
you
to
can
be a mod
whatever.
like that. There's got to be a mod like that out
Yeah.
there.
I mean, like, even if you just kind of, like, pick, like, hey, man, like, don't get the restoration skill. Like, you're the barbarian. Like, you don't know restoration. Like, come on, buddy. You know what you are. You know? Even if you have to, like, do some, like, rules yourself.
Just put in his strength, big dog.
Yeah. Come on. What you need magic for? Get axe. More axe, please.
Yeah, I'm excited to play some modded Skyrim now that I got my PC together finally.
Yes.
It's been a solid 4 months without a PC, man. Maybe 4.5 months.
I've been there.
It really wasn't painful, but now that I'm like, remember again how amazing the computer is, it kind of frustrates me that I just went 4 months without one.
Yeah, I had when my motherboard fried out on me. I forget how many months. I pretty much just set it aside. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to afford another motherboard and CPU. So I just stopped. I did other things, but once I got that back, and then once I got the new graphics card, shout out to both you and Caleb, because you both gave me one. But yeah, but shout out to those guys and you guys.
And PC's running smoother.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Better than ever.
Certain games I've been playing on low graphics, and they run okay, like 40, 50 frames a second on low. And then I got the new graphics card, and it's just like I could play on medium, high, ultra, depending on the game, and it just runs like 60 plus. And like Caleb called it after like I got the new motherboard and CPU. He's like, dude, your graphics card's probably bottlenecking you right now. I was like, all right, I'll check that box when I have an extra $200 plus to just dump.
Call in a care package and 2 dropped in.
Dude, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's why you should always talk to like your friends and stuff like that,
because they might have an extra graphics
just
card
laying around all the time, man. I mean, dude, that's how we got all this equipment to like start recording.
True that.
It was just like we were just talking to some dudes, and they're like, yeah, you want to start like a YouTube channel, a podcast? Like, I've got mics, I've got like lights, I've got all this stuff. You can just borrow
hell
it. Yeah. And now we're doing it. Episode 6, my guy.
Episode 6. Let's get it. Cheers.
Cheers to those guys. Can we get a tink? I'll have a good bottle to tink with. That sounded terrible.
So what was your game of the week? I think that's how that started.
Yeah, I rambled off a bit on there. It was Far Cry New Dawn.
Nice.
I just focused in on that. That's all I played for a few days, just to kind of knock out the storyline. It's got a good storyline. It's really good. I won't spoil that because that's relatively new. But yeah, if you want like a cool running gun, kind of ridiculous
first person.
Yeah. It's silly and it's fun, and you just get to do cool stuff. Like, it's, if you try to take that game seriously, like, oh, it's not a survival game. It's just you run around and you shoot like raiders, essentially. It's cool. And you get like superpowers towards the end. You can double jump, which like freaks people out because you just jump over walls and stuff, and they're like, people aren't supposed to jump that high.
So if you want to play this Pokemon MMO, what do you? You're just gonna play it on PC?
Yeah. I think
you need a Vita.
Well, I mean, I can get it on my phone, man.
You could probably get it on your Metroid.
Yeah, exactly. I've got the options.
2+.
All I have to do is just sign in on the other account now that I know what it is.
Yeah.
Because like I took a shot in the dark on my old passwords to see if like the account was still alive. 100% still alive. It's looking great. I've trashed Pokemon, but I've got 2 badges, my guy.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I beat Brock and Misty.
Hopefully I can get my old account back, just so I have something to start with.
Sure.
Well, something.
I mean, like I said, man, I'm gonna be restarting. I've got to relearn all the stuff about Pokemon now, and I've got to
Do they have any have they gone as far as making like hardcore accounts where you can't lose?
No, I don't believe so. But there is a challenge if you're interested. It's called the Nuzlocke challenge. It's not part of the game. It's just like a personal challenge you can put on yourself.
Okay.
I don't know the exact rules, but I know the main thing is you're pretty much stuck with your starting Pokemon, and if they faint, you have to release them. So, like, you get your starting Pokemon, you go out in the wild, first Pokemon you run around is a Pidgey. You have to catch that Pidgey, kind of deal. Excuse me. And then, if one of your Pokemon faints, you have to release it. And I don't know the very specific rules, but I think like that's like the most
pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
version.
that's like the most hardcore challenge you can have in a Pokemon game. It's a Nuzlocke challenge.
Okay.
So we'll have to look that up and see how it is.
I was curious 'cause it kind of reminded me of I guess it's Ultimate Iron Man and old school RuneScape, and I'm pretty sure that's where you can't even use your bank. So you have 28 inventory spots to play the entire game.
Yeah, do all your crafting and everything.
And this guy got PK'd for 2.1 billion RuneScape gold on an Ultimate Iron Man. I'm pretty sure that's the ultimate, is where you can't use your bank.
Yeah.
And you haven't died yet.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
And this man had 2.1 billion gold.
Yeah.
Got PK'd.
Because you can't bank your gold.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, that's kind of where it popped in my head for maybe if Pokemon did something like that. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, dude. You've always been like down to just do whatever the hardest challenge is. Like you like playing
just to
the
see
games.
what it is, see if I could beat it. Yeah.
But you're always like trying to like push yourself to like, what's the hardest thing I can do, right? Kind of always been like that. Just
Really?
like kind of pushing yourself. Yeah, man. I mean, that's why you like broke so many bones, like trying to get into the X Games.
I only broke one.
Yeah. I mean, you were always like skateboarding and snowboarding and biking.
Dude,
and,
I've had stitches 12 times.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time, but when I was younger, it was just Daredevil all the time.
Yeah. I think that's why you like competitive games so much, man. It's because like it's actually like it's like the hardest way you can play that game.
I got that natural cocaine flowing through my body.
Yeah. Get that adrenaline fix from like wiping a team on League. TPK.
Now I spend my days playing online poker and chess online. Just trolling away.
You did great at poker.
I did pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you made money, so like
yeah.
You did good.
Yeah,
What do you play on? Like, is it a website or what is it?
It's Poker Stars PA.
Poker Stars PA?
Yeah, so you could only play with people in PA.
Okay.
It's kind of a local thing, I guess. But I did just decided to play since my computer was together. I was like, what am I gonna play?
Yeah, you get a brand new computer together. You're like, let me test this bad boy out. It was some poker.
Let me play some online poker. Oh man, it was nice to be able to just multitask again.
Yes.
I mean, rendering a video, watching a live stream, playing a video game, and playing poker all at once.
Oh yeah, since I've been upgrading my computer, because before I couldn't have anything else open. Like I couldn't have like Spotify going or like YouTube, and I'm on one monitor anyway, so it was a big deal. But like if I had Spotify going playing music, like my game lagged pretty hard.
Yeah.
And now it's like I can do more things.
Do you think you can live your life?
Yeah, and my next step is to get a bigger desk, and
yeah, you were saying that.
I have enough room for my second monitor, and that brings me to my dirty or cool question for you, Troll. So this desk I'm building with my own two hands, right?
It's cool, dude. It's cool.
Bear with me, all right? The main desk part is a door. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
And the supports for it are from an old bunk bed that my children used to sleep on.
Dude,
is it dirty or is it cool?
I think it's going to be very convenient.
That's not the question.
And that makes it cool.
That makes it cool?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, once it's done, the door itself is 7 foot by 3 foot. So it's a full-size door. It's going to be like a whole workstation.
Yeah.
Once it's done.
It's so convenient.
It's going to be wild. I'm gonna have enough room for all my computer stuff on there, with 2 monitors, and I'll probably have enough space where I can lay out cards and like build decks there.
Yeah, I'm lacking in the desk department. Mine is just enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got like a whole setup now. What you've got, like,
I had to use for the second monitor. I had to use another piece of furniture, but
yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting at this desk that like I can literally fit my keyboard, my monitor, and my desktop on, and that's it. Like I don't have any more room than that, and that's how I've been gaming. And it's just
time
like
for something different.
Yeah, and it's too short too. So like while I'm looking at my monitor, like I can start to feel it in like my back and my neck because I'm like hunched over.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like,
yeah, it's so important, dude. Posture for us, definitely.
Your physical health
for everyone.
Is so important. No matter what kind of games you're in. Oh no, I wasn't full with it. your physical health, man, because if you're,
it should be the most important thing on your mind.
If you're working like a sitting job, like in an office or anything, and then you come home and your way to relax is to play video games, you're pretty much spending like 16 hours a day just like sitting and hunched over. Yeah. So like at the very least, having good posture will save your back. Having the right height of chair will save your knees. Having your monitor at the right height and your desk at the right height, I mean, that's going to save your shoulders, your elbows, your neck. It's like, it's too important. If you spend a lot of time gaming, it's too important to like make sure it's set up for your body, right? Whatever your height is.
Because in 10 years, you're going to be pretty upset that you know.
I mean, I worked security, so for the most part, I was sitting on my butt in a little booth, and then like I'd come home, and my way to like decompress and relax was to play video games, and I'd get home at like 3 a.m, so like I'd have time. Everyone else in my house was asleep, but I was spending so much time that like I could tell. Not only did I put on a bunch of weight, but my knees were also just wrecked. Like it hurt to get up, it hurt to get down. They were weak. Like they would just give out on me every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I had to start like forcing myself to work out, even just body weight stuff, body weight squats and like lunges and things like that. I'm still dealing with a lot of it, the weight and the just like the soreness in the joints, and the weakness, but it is a lot better, and it's just important. I'm already 32, so like it's only going to get harder from here.
I realize that today at work, like how much I'm constantly moving around, and just a little bit of lifting, but I guess anything every day is decent. Yeah,
you only need like 30 minutes of cardio to like maintain like a pretty healthy like lung and heart and like joint health kind of deal. You don't need to spend like 3 hours in the gym just lifting and pounding iron and stuff. Whatever they do in the gym, pounding iron. But like you just need to have some like active time to do something. I'm not even sure what.
Yeah.
If you're into a
what
sport.
sucks is like people expect results very quickly, and that's something that is not possible with this challenge.
Yeah. I've been doing this for months, and I am noticing very, very slight differences.
Yeah.
Like physically. Like it's more so like my back feels a little bit looser, my knees feel a little bit stronger. More so
helps.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I have a 6-pack after 3 months. It's like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I probably will never have a 6-pack, but like I'm hoping in a few years' time I'll be in much better shape than I am now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I've got to, because like otherwise, like, man, I can't even imagine trying to do all this, like now taking this seriously as like it's almost like a job, this whole podcasting thing, and like being hurt by like sitting down for an hour hour. You know, like, oh, my back. I sat down for an hour and now my back hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be doing that. Take the steps now, folks. Start now. Future you will thank you.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting is also like something good to try out.
Does that work for you?
I don't really do it right now. Like I usually eat within a couple of hours of being awake, but it's definitely good for your mind because you're challenging it by not eating throughout the day.
You're building that discipline.
Yeah, I think if you can control that, you can control most emotions. That's huge. You know, that's, you can think of something else other than hunger, you know.
Yeah.
By all means, say it. But like that has to be one of the hardest challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that alone is, I don't know. And also just like not consuming unhealthy food that's presented to you, you know, throughout every day, each day.
That was my problem, is like I would graze. So like every time I walk in the kitchen, I would like, oh, I'll just grab something real quick, and then like walk around a bit and do, like, I'm doing chores around the house, and it's just like, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well grab this, and might as well grab like a handful of like chips and like blah blah blah. And I've had to stop myself from doing that. It's just like, just because I'm in the kitchen doesn't mean I need to eat something.
Yeah.
And also like cutting out soda has been a big help too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, because the carbonation, I think, is like the most addictive thing, like that, and the high amount of sugar too. But like, if you can cut out soda, or just like replace it with
such a challenge.
It's hard
for me right now. Like that's like a huge challenge.
Oh yeah, if you work the worse like hours you work, I should say, the like more regular hours you work, the harder it is to like drop caffeine. Because when I was working night shift at security,
that's what it is, you know, just work.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got Mountain Dew Code Red. Yeah. I got the blue kind. I got the orange kind. I got the green original.
Oh, dude, I was pounded down 2-3 NOS throughout my shift, like an 8-hour shift, just to stay awake.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise,
I got to make a transfer to like tea.
Yeah.
And water.
That's what I've been doing. Is I've been replacing it with tea, soda with tea, and like I've also been addicted to vitamin water. Shout out to Vitamin Water if you ever want to sponsor us. But
how much sugar is in that bad boy?
Oh, probably a lot. Yeah, like 26 grams.
Yeah, see, I don't trust that.
Yeah,
if I'm going cold turkey, like I'm filtering my own water if I have to.
Oh, I get you. But like, I mean, this isn't supposed to be like a super health episode, but I mean, it is now. One bottle has 100 calories in it, right? And like a can of Mountain Dew, I think, has 170.
That's pretty close.
And plus, like, this also has like actual vitamins in it, like daily recommended dosage of vitamins.
That's good.
Yeah, and plus, like, I tend to sip these. I drink it slower than I do soda. I don't know why.
That's a good thing.
Maybe it's just because the sugar content is lower.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because, like, I don't want flat soda. Because, like, it was like, oh, there's, like, as soon as you pop that top, it's like there's a timer.
I have an incentive to drink this.
Yeah. Like, with a bottle, it's different. But, like, with a can, like, you
gotta drink it.
Eventually, it's going to be, like,
yeah,
just syrup. And I don't know, man. Like, just you should just like start taking care of yourself. You know, if you want to game forever and not be like bedridden, or you want to be like somewhat active in the future, you know, if you got kids, I've got kids, I want to be active. I don't want to be sitting on the couch while they're outside playing. Ideally, I want to be outside playing with them. You know?
Yeah, I think your body should always be ready to judo chop someone, like at all times.
Karate,
you know?
Yeah.
Because if you can do that, you're good.
Yeah. I mean,
a little bit of confidence too. You need.
Yeah. I would say confidence is
it comes with the progress of being healthy, and
yes. And just like setting out, just goal setting too.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be fitness related, but just like setting a goal.
That's very important. Goals. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's super important.
Yeah. I mean, it's what I did with Far Cry. It was just like, hey,
I'm beating this.
yeah. I was just like, man, I've been sitting on this game for like years now. Like, I just want to knock this out and be done with it. Not just like for no other reason than just like to get it off my like list of things I want to do. You know? And I feel better now that I don't have to beat it anymore.
Yeah.
I can go back and 100% it if I really want to, but like the game's beat. I beat the story.
Dude, I never beat Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X was great.
And I played it like I put like a lot of time into it, probably 3 different times throughout my life. Never actually got to beat it, so
I personally
I gotta get that in.
I personally have never beat it, but Josh, he beat it. I believe it was Josh. Maybe it was Robert. Drat. Somebody beat it, and I was like there for a big chunk of it, so I got to like see the game happening, but like I didn't have the controller.
Yeah. So you really don't need to play it after that.
I mean, I've seen it, but again, that was forever ago.
Over 10 years.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. That was PlayStation 2, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that was forever ago, my dude.
Yeah.
Do you
Good
have
game,
it?
though.
Yeah, it's an amazing game.
I had it on my Retroid. I played it quite a bit on there. I think the farthest I got to some forest, and the boss was crushing me, and I didn't know what to do.
You got to go back and grind.
I tried to.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know what happened.
You probably got like locked into like an area.
Yeah.
You have to like load an earlier save.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do it again. I'm going to do it on the Vita, dude. That's what I'm getting to here, because the Vita's showing up at the front door very soon.
Yeah, man.
And I'm about to play that.
Can you like plug that into your computer and record?
Oh, I'm sure I could, yeah.
If you ever wanted to get some footage. I mean, I'm not telling you.
It's old games.
Yeah. I mean, but like, honestly, just for like some B-roll footage, background stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of what I want to do for like the YouTube channel, is make it more than just our podcast. Like, if we could do like some, I don't know, like highlight reels, or like, hey, like even playthroughs if people were interested in us playing an entire game, or if it was just like a, hey, check out these funny moments from Oblivion. Like 10 minutes of just like,
gotta get on that PC and start recording, boy.
I do, dude. That's why I'm building the desk. I need that second monitor. It's too annoying to record with one monitor.
You can't game without 2 monitors.
I've never had a second monitor.
Oh, jeez.
Never in my life.
That's crazy.
I was like, man, I'm lucky to have one monitor.
Remember what I used to do? I used to hook it up to the TV and just...
Yeah. No, I always had the TV playing something, some kind of show. It's just like background noise, and then I'd have like my computer.
That's like the next best thing.
Yeah. I never like...
If not better.
Yeah. But 100%, I'm excited to have a second monitor. I hear it's life-changing.
It's, yeah.
You'd never go back.
No, it's hard to. Like, I tried to go back to one monitor, and like I did it for I think like a couple hours. I'm like, I never want to do that again.
Couple hours.
Yeah, never want to do that again.
Oh man! Oh, did I tell you? I decided on a commander to build.
No,
for Magic the Gathering.
Let's hear
it. It is Jan Jansen, the Chaos Crafter. I'll show you a picture of him. There he is. So,
I like it already.
Yeah. Jan Jansen, the Chaos Crafter. He's from the
oh no,
Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate set, I think.
2022.
2022, yeah. And he is white, black, and red. Mardu are his colors. He's a little gnomey artificer.
Legendary Creech.
Yes, he's going to be my commander. And the reason I wanted to be my commander is because, like, I've never built a combo deck before. and I want to try building one, and he's like a pretty cheap option for it.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah, so he's a 3/3 for 3/3 for 3. He's just red, white, black for 3/3 gnome. He has haste, and he's got 2 tap abilities. So I can tap him, sacrifice an artifact creature, make 2 treasure tokens, which you can sack a treasure token. You can sack itself to create a mana of any color. Or you can tap him and sacrifice a non-creature artifact and create 2 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature tokens. So the idea is, if you get the pieces together and make a combo, you can tap and untap him infinitely, and either get infinite. Well, you can get, if you can untap him infinitely, then you can get infinite treasures and infinite 1/1 artifacts.
That's your goal?
Yeah, to go infinite. And then you get stuff where, like, oh, when an artifact enters the battlefield, or when an artifact leaves the battlefield, each opponent takes 1 damage. Or
okay. What about this infinite?
So the thing is, one of the easiest ways is to turn him into an artifact. Because there's a couple cards that turn any creature into an artifact.
Actually an artifact.
He's an artificer. He is not an artifact. Yes.
Okay.
And you get those cards, and usually they have to like pay in, like, oh, you pay a mana, and you can like tap or untap target artifact. And so he's creating treasures. He's paying into those cards. They untap him, and then he just keeps tapping, untapping, tapping, untapping, tapping, untapping.
Oh,
And
no.
if no one responds, he goes infinite. You either have, like, technically in Magic, you have to name a number. You can't just go, I have infinite of everything. You have to go, like, I have
999 billion.
Exactly. You have to pick, like, a solid number. It can be any number, but you have to pick a number. So I can make 1,000 treasures and 1,000 1/1 artifact creatures. And then I can do stuff like Goblin Bombardment, which is sack a creature, deal 1 damage to target player or creature. And I can just go like 40, 40, 40, and just wipe the table.
Dang.
Right?
So you're going to make this, combine it with your Gobbies?
No, the Oni Cult Anvil, my Rakdos artifact deck,
You're going to combine it with that?
that is going to be turned into a commander deck.
Okay.
Because I don't feel it's strong enough to be a 60 card deck. I feel like it's a little too weak and janky.
And this is a commander deck.
Yes.
Well, so you're going to need a lot more new cards, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be like, I've got a bunch of cards. But yeah, this is
Need some Blightnings, dude?
probably. I only need
Throw
one.
one in there?
It's a singleton. But yeah, it's what I'm trying to do with that Rakdos deck, which is bring out artifacts, sack artifacts for value, bring out artifacts, sack value. Excuse me. Do that stuff. He already does that, like, by himself. So he just makes the rest of that deck better. And I wasn't sure if you have an opinion about the original art or the alternative art. Because the alternative art for the Dungeons and Dragons sets are like old parchment, like wanted posters that are like hand drawn.
I don't like these for some reason, man. I mean,
I have both, so it really doesn't matter. But I didn't know if you had an opinion.
yeah, like I like the colors more.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like the colors because it's pretty plain. Some yellow.
Yeah.
But I will always choose this more over.
Yeah. There are some cards that do look better in this, but I don't think this is one of them. The main reason is because he's got a gun.
I think I have like the lightning bolts of that version, but like every other
Yeah.
card, I'm like,
Yeah. It's like a personal preference. Personally,
Yeah.
I like that dude.
yeah.
But like, I also have
Like
one
I
of
don't
those.
like this one at all. I think this. I actually think like it's not that cool, but
Yeah.
I'll still choose it.
Yeah. I get you.
I don't know. Yeah, I look back. That's all right.
See,
I mean,
That's where I'm at. Is like,
no, I don't like it, dude. I don't like all the.
I'm telling you, that's where I'm at. Like, I like the card.
It's
but
like 90% sand color.
Yeah. It's supposed to look like old parchment.
Yeah.
But it just looks plain. Is really what it looks like.
I like that guy.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I'm doing the like budget challenge.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, where no individual card in that deck can be valued at over $10. So like $10.00 is the limit
For Commander. That's a good idea, yeah.
Because I mean it's 100 separate cards. So like at max I could still spend $1,000. Like that could be $1,000 deck.
Yeah. Which isn't really budget.
No, but the main thing is, I mean, like, a lot of those are going to be, like, mountains and lands and stuff, which are, like, pennies. So, like, those really aren't going to... It's probably going to be, like... I'd like to keep it under $60, honestly, because that's, like, a 20-cent commander. Like, it's not crazy.
Pretty good one, though.
Yeah. I want to... A couple reasons I want to do a budget, personally, is... that I want to make it like affordable to people, right? I don't want Magic to be this thing where it's like, if you're not dropping $1,000+ into your deck, like, what are you doing? Like, it's not worth it. You're not going to win any games, kind of deal, right? Where you don't have to have.
There's so many levels to Magic. It all depends on who you're playing with.
Oh,
really.
exactly. But
you're always going to run into people that are better than you.
Always, yes, and those cards are expensive for a reason. The $200, $300 cards, they're that expensive because they're that good.
Yeah.
So,
and sure, you can destroy it easily, but when you're and there's 4 in the deck, and it's every game you're versing that.
Yeah. But it's also going to kind of push me to be better at deck building, because I'm not relying on super powerful cards to win me the game.
Yeah, you can always... When anything goes, you can counter it with a cheap card.
Yeah.
You can destroy it with a cheap card.
It's just like I can't remember what the one like really good blue counter is you can basically cast it for free. But there's plenty of, and it's like hundreds of dollars. And then there's like other counters that are like 1 or 2 blue mana, and they're like 30 cents.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
Like, it's to just get to that, like, next level of power with your deck.
Yeah, you're like, how can I be slightly better?
Well,
you gotta drop the dollars.
Gotta drop bills, man. And I'm not trying to do that. If my budget deck can beat good decks, I'll be ecstatic. Like, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. Like, this deck cost me $30.
Oh, and you already do it, you know. You can do it.
Yeah. But it's just really gonna force me to not rely on card power, on staples.
So you're going against the grain, is what you're saying.
I'm going against the grain. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of having like this game if only like rich people can play it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what the tournaments come down to, but there's still skill in Magic.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
There's still a little bit of skill, and that's what keeps that game going.
Absolutely. It's not just all how expensive your deck is.
No,
but
you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just have this thing against pay to win kind of things, and like just buying the most expensive cards because they're the most expensive cards just feels kind of pay to win to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go on like EDH Rec and you just like look up like, oh, this is like the $2,000 deck, it must be the best, and you just buy all those cards
and then you lose.
Yeah, it's like you don't
chances are you're probably gonna win. But
yeah, your cards are gonna win, sure. I've won games because I've had a $40 card in the deck, not because like I outplayed my opponents. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was just a really good card that I got for like practically nothing, and it, like the rest of the players
destroy all artifacts.
Yeah, they couldn't just afford to just drop $40 on a single card in a 100-card deck.
Yeah.
It just wasn't realistic at the time. Like, I got lucky to have one. But that card won me Cyclonic Rift. That card won me so many games just by itself. So, it's an instant blue spell, and it bounces target permanent back to its owner's hand. If you overload it, and I think the overload is 6 for colorless and 2 blue, that might be it. You bounce every non-land permanent. It's non-land permanent. Every non-land permanent that you don't control back to their owner's hand. So I overload it. I bounce back all 3 of my opponent's creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, tokens, all that goes back. I just basically reset them. It's all in their hand now, so like if they don't empty their hand on the next turn, it gets discarded. That card has won me so many games, to the point where I took it out of my deck.
It's too good.
It was too good, honestly. For the play group I was playing with at the time.
It's
but
like
also
8 mana to cast though.
6,
6,
and you basically
you can just pay
wipe
the
the board. Yeah, the overload. Yeah, it just gets everything off the board. For 6 mana, I screw over 3 different people.
So
and
good
I'm free
for
to swing.
multiplayer.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's pretty good for like 1-on-1, but when it's just every non-land permanent you don't control, it's stupid. It's stupid broken.
Dude, I haven't played Magic in like 2 weeks.
It's been months for me.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
I gotta build a deck.
We're gonna throw down some Commander with the boys. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, that well, I shouldn't say that place, because I don't know if they're down to just like have that sort of recognition from all 7 of our listeners. I want to talk to them first before I like start shouting out secrets of like underground places going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that you already brought up.
Yeah, I already brought it up. So there's this place in town that's like hosting Commander nights. And I guess there's a bunch of dudes, like a dozen plus guys, maybe girls, I don't know, I haven't been there, that show up and they just play Commander like every week. And yeah, that's right now we don't have a card shop, so like that seems like the biggest group meeting place. It's
Dude, Commander's so casual. I'm so glad it exists.
Yeah,
because
it's fun, man.
I feel like that. It definitely brought so many people back into Magic.
Yeah, it's the most popular format in Magic.
It's crazy.
It overtook everything else.
Even the pro tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's more popular. That's why there's like more Commander products every year than there are any other things.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Like Commander specific cards.
Mm-hmm. They put out like.
It's like, sorry guys, you can't use this.
Yeah. When I got into it, they were putting out one set, usually like 4, maybe 5 Commander decks a year. So it was a big hype. Like, yes, finally in August, new Commander decks. Now they're dropping like 2 Commander decks every few months. Like, it's wild. Plus, like, now there's Commander specific sets, like the Dungeons and Dragons sets. It's not legal in any other format except for Commander.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. But what makes it so popular is that you can just use any card, other than what's on the ban list, but any card that's ever been printed. And multiplayer, that's another big thing. Is like, other than like Two-Headed Giant, man, there's really no other multiplayer formats.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Unless you're throwing down with the crew.
Yeah, if you're just going kitchen table, whatever. But like, as far as Wizard approved formats, it's like Two-Headed Giant and Commander. That's the only multiplayer.
I'm still brewing up a deck here. I still want to do the Esper control.
For 60 or for Commander?
Probably just 60 card. for Commander, you already know what I'm rolling with.
You doing Feather?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
that Feather
me
deck.
as well.
Oh, dude, it's so good. And it's cheap,
Yeah.
too.
So strong.
It's a budget deck.
Yeah. And I have everything.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
we can do that. But yeah, I haven't played Magic in 2 weeks. What's up, Glenn? Where you at, brother? Hit me up, brother. I should have hit him up, but I was busy. I've been busy as heck.
Dude, that's how I feel. It's hard to, like, because I've got to take all my cards out, start sorting through them to, like, build this deck. And I got a 2-year-old running around. So, like, little dude's just checking in on me. What are you doing? He'll just, like, grab something and run off with it. Last thing I need is, like, him to just start eating, like, $8 cards. It's like, get out of here. But, yeah, I just need to set aside time to do it. But now that I've actually picked a dude, I'm actually, like, been thinking about it more and more, kind of brewing all the stuff I want to do. So, that's the first step.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's do it.
I got one more thing. Well, 2 more things to talk about. RuneScape. RuneScape 3, okay?
3.
I know you don't play it, but there's a new update that, like, I thought I saw it, and that's I think it was last podcast. I was like, is that the Foreign 3 or something like that?
Forestry.
Yeah. Well, it's Foreign 3. It's a new update for RuneScape 3.
What?
Yeah.
Four and 3.
Foreign 3. Yeah, here, check the spelling. Foreign 3.
Oh, it's crazy. What is it?
So you can build your own fort in RuneScape, and it's up like above northeast of Varrock, next to the Wildy, and you build a whole fort, and you can build a workshop, a town hall, a chapel, and a command center. You need to beat the New Foundations quest, and it uses your construction skill, and you get NPCs that come there.
It makes sense because there's construction right there above rock. That's where you go to do it.
Yeah. I guess it's near the lumber mill, but not like right next to
Yo,
it.
they're crazy. They're dropping upgrades for both RuneScapes pretty much at the same time.
Yeah. But like you build this stuff and you get buffs. Like you build a chapel, you get prayer bonuses to your XP. So like while you're in there, you just bury all your bones. You get access to like a bank chest up there. But the main reason I'm excited about that is because like I feel like there's a pretty good chance that that's going to kind of trickle down into old school RuneScape in one of like the future polls.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dude, I was already thinking that. I'm like already picturing them combining somehow or that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you've said it that like every once in a while, old school RuneScape will get some stuff that like was just like a RuneScape 3 exclusive kind of thing. They'll just kind of like trickle down and we'll vote and we'll add it in, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like I think everyone's on board with like, oh, you build your own cool little fort.
Yeah. See, that's the great thing about it is players vote.
Yes.
You know, the mods say, hey, we want to release this quest. You'll get these items. It'll give you access to this area. And then the players vote yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever we vote, we get.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
But the fort's cool, man. I was looking through all this stuff, and like you can even send like NPCs on missions and get like they complete missions. They bring back gold, like passive income, just from like having high enough construction level.
Yeah, I could definitely see that coming into old school.
Yeah.
Eventually. Sooner, maybe sooner than we know, because
Could be.
you know, they're coming out with a new skill soon.
Yeah. But like I saw it and I was like, oh man, RuneScape 3. And I was like, it could 100% just like end up in old school.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But it's cool, man. It looks like a little it's just got like the log walls and stuff like that, and there's a couple buildings, and it kind of looks like a barbarian village a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
I was just playing, I got my prayer from 88 to 90.
To 90.
Yeah. And I got a combat level off of it.
Dang, you're almost halfway there to maxing out your prayer.
I have to do it in someone else's house. I have to join their house and give the bones to the altar. This sounds very demonic, but
yeah.
it's RuneScape.
Yeah. I mean, RuneScape already has the house building. Where you,
Yeah.
like port to your own house.
Yeah, the altar gives me like 3 times XP.
Mhm.
So I just go to the house world and hop in there. They have like bots, or it's them on another account, like advertising, join this house,
Mhm.
because they get tips. You know, they just sit in their
Yeah.
house, keep the things lit, and people tip them.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? For 3 times XP?
Dude, the one started a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that I have been joining for years. I go there just to bury my bones because they have like bots advertising. Join this, join this. Now they have a podcast.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Workless Old School RuneScape podcast.
Workless Old School RuneScape podcast.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude's name is Workless.
Workless.
Yeah,
That's his like username.
yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah, man, that's great. Shout out to them. Shout out to another podcast. Just, I mean, honestly, yeah, helping out.
He
the
was just
community.
providing a service
Yes,
and created a podcast from it.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's very like RuneScape focused. I would assume.
yeah. There might be one little section in Discord,
Yeah.
Elden Ring or something.
There was wasn't there like a quest where you got to like a whole nother country? There was like an island, and you could like be like the mayor of that island, and like build up like crops and stuff like that. I remember that.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure because I was way into the quest, and I'm pretty sure there was one where you could there was like a separate island off the map that you can only get there by boat.
Fremennik.
Framanek. Yes.
that it?
I think so. Yeah. I never really got into it, but like I got to it and I started it.
Dude,
don't
I
think
remember you
finished
beat that quest before me, and you had access to the Berserker helm, and I was like, dang,
Yeah.
I gotta do it. Like, now I have to do
it.
it.
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to do was the quest. I got really into the questing and like I grinded like, oh, I need like, whatever woodcutting to do this quest, so I just grinded woodcutting till I got it. And I just went and did the quest. That was like my whole goal was to like eventually like get all the quests done, and then whenever a new quest came out, I just knocked that one off and just like stay on top of the quests.
Yeah.
Little quest.
Yeah, that's what my sister was doing for a while.
Mhm.
And she's like, they keep coming out with quests.
Yeah. You'd have to like. I got overwhelmed real quick, man. It was hard enough like doing the quest they already had. They were just like, oh, we want to do like Monkey Island Part 3 or whatever.
Monkey Madness.
Monkey Madness. That's it,
Dude. We're going to talk about RuneScape now. Just want this to go on record. I called out the Dragon Scimitar before it even came out, dude. I remember.
Yeah, you did.
I was like,
We were
I've
talking about
done this with a couple games,
Mhm.
but we'll get into it. I was like, man, they should make a Dragon Scimitar and just make it a wing shape.
Yeah.
Just do it a dragon wing. And then I would say less than 2 years for sure is when Monkey Madness came out. And that gave you access to the new Dragon Scimitar. And it was shaped, just detailed just like a wing.
Yeah.
And I was so pumped.
You're
I
like,
was
yo,
so
where's my
pumped.
royalties?
And I remember it took me 3 days. The first time I did this quest, it took me 3 days to finish it.
Yeah.
I'm talking playing for hours, logging out, coming back the next day.
Mhm.
And then the next time I did it took me 3 hours. And then after that, it's less than 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was so tough at first.
Yeah. Well, that was your weapon was the scimitar, man. So as soon as they came out with the dragon,
Yeah, I
you
was
were
all
like,
about it.
I need to get rid of this rune skimmy so fast.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing walking around with this thing?
Oh, this piece of garbage.
Dude, it took me 3 days to do this quest when it came out, because that's how big of a noob I am. There's no guides.
No,
I mean, Rune HQ after like a couple days, but like,
yeah,
it's still not that good.
you were doing that on like one monitor too, so you were
Oh,
like
yeah.
switching between the screens.
Oh yeah,
you had to like do a little bit
I was
of
watching
reading.
VHS tapes on the TV VCR combo, just playing
Face Off.
RuneScape,
Face Off, and the
Face
Born
Off.
Identity, and like
Count of Monte Cristo.
Enemy at the Gates.
Oh, Vasily Saitsa.
I knew you'd love that movie.
Dude, another game there that I made a little prediction about Fortnite. It's when they came out with apples on the map that healed you for like a certain amount of health. And dude, right when I saw that, I was like, dude, they should make mushrooms that give you armor, because there's armor and health in Fortnite.
Okay, yeah.
And my homie was like, nah, dude, there's so many shrooms all over the map, they couldn't do that. And within like a month, dude, same time frame, honestly, it was like less than 2 months. Little shrooms on the map that give you armor.
Oh,
I was like,
goodness.
oh snap,
man, they're listening in on you. You had like one good idea about the dragon skimmy, and now like everybody, like Big Brother's like,
I had my mic plugged in.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you know what? That's a pretty good idea.
Click. Let's add that bad boy in right now.
And now they just ask us what we want.
Yeah.
They come out with all this stuff, and they're like, hey, do you guys want this?
Yes.
And they're very specific. They're like, if we do add this, do you want it to be accessible to this? It's like, like this certain type of combat level, very specific.
Yeah, I think if you really like a game that's like online like that, like RuneScape or Fortnite even, the Pokemon Revolution Online also has a pretty active Discord. I think if you're really into that game, you should be on that Discord. Just kind of like, even if all you're doing is just, creeping, you're just watching everything, because they're going to be posting news. If it's the smaller it is, it typically the more involved they are in the community, because they want it to grow. So like, if anybody has any good ideas, like, lay it on me. Like, we'll add it to the game. We don't care.
Yeah.
But I know they want to, with Pokemon Revolution Online, is to do all of the regions. I don't know how that's going to work once they go to 3D, because they're going to have to basically draw it, because it's the 2D kind of like pixely sprite thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to have to create that from scratch, because they can do all the other games.
I'm hopping on.
Dude, you should. I'm
gonna on my Vita this week.
I'm gonna get it on my phone, maybe on the Retroid too, and just log in on my dude and just get to grinding. Honestly, because like that's what it's gonna be, man. If you want to min max, you're gonna have to keep catching like whatever Pokemon that is till you find the perfect one. Check their stats constantly. You're gonna be like going through Pokeballs, and you get Pokeballs from like battling people, or you get money and then you battle people. Again, it's been so long since I played, so I'm gonna have to play the Pokemon game in general, but also Pokemon Revolution Online. But yeah, if anybody else wants to play, 100%, I'm gonna start a guild.
Let's do it.
Trollbard Guild.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll invite some people, and we'll just fiend on Pokemon. Big old crew just running together.
Online Pokemon. That's huge.
Yeah, and you could duel people wherever you want. Just like wait in the bushes and be like, hey.
Or maybe you could trade me a sweet Pokemon you don't need, dude. Please.
Totally got trades in there. It's all the same stuff. All the items are the same. The maps are the same. The locations, the Pokemons like the gym leaders and the trainers have. It's there, man. If you know any of the old Pokemon games, you're gonna do great in that region. Like I said, they've got the first three, which are Kanto, Johto. I can't remember what the third one is. Is it Sinnoh? Maybe Sinnoh. Or maybe that's the fourth one they're working on. But regardless, they've got the first three. I'm playing in Kanto region. But we're going to call it there because we're running out of time.
Tune in next time when we talk about Pokemon.
Our new accounts. But yeah, check us out on social media. Check us out on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're also on Amazon Music now.
Check us out.
Yeah. So wherever you want to listen to us. Thanks.
Thank you.